we've seen in the last couple of days, Israel, counterattacking Iran, is this, in a way, this aid package not playing into Benjamin Netanyahu and giving him what he wants, despite all the warnings from Biden about retaliation and invasions of Rafah? Is he getting something from all of this after all?
Again, I don't think the aid package is a big part of it, but he's been getting almost everything he wanted. He's had more or less a carte blanche to attack Iran and Syria and Lebanon and Iraq and other locations in the Middle East without much fuss from the United States, and of course positions all over the West Bank and Gaza as well. There has been, as you know, a lot of angst and growing criticism privately and publicly from the United States, more than anything else, for the huge civilian death toll of the Israeli operation in Gaza, which you reported is now past 34,000, which is at those huge genocidal levels that the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court are paying very close attention to. But some things have also flown under the radar. We had a ceasefire 7 weeks and got a bunch of the hostages out. That was with U.S. pressure. And the Rafah operation has been delayed for close to 3 months now, and that was with U.S. pressure. And the U.S. won't greenlight it unless there's a plan to take care of the 1 million or so remaining refugees in Rafah and another couple 100,000 around Rafah. And so the U.S. has boxed in Israel more than has been realized, because it's basically saying, we want you to conclude a ceasefire, or we don't want you to attack Rafah without a plan to protect civilian lives. And Israel's been able to do neither of that. So instead, they have this sort of grinding lower level conflict that's still going on.
But I mean, in saying that, every day we're seeing bombings and dead bodies and babies being burned and mass starvation. Does the US not have a responsibility at this point? I mean, the Court of Human Rights saying it's a genocide. At what point does the US say, okay, enough's enough, we need to stop Israel from attacking Gaza? The world is watching all of these people dying.
Well, a lot of my expert friends thought that was going to happen by the end of January, and then we thought that was going to happen in February, and then people were saying, before Ramadan and then during Ramadan. But the U.S. is complicit in these war crimes and the genocidal actions. The U.S. has not exerted enough pressure on Israel, or just, total stoppage of the conflict, just instructing Israel to stop it. And the idea that the U.S. doesn't have the right to do that or the ability to do that is just wrong. All the previous Gaza wars going back to 2006 were stopped largely with U.S. pressure, and this one will stop with U.S. pressure. Unfortunately, the Biden administration, which stopped the 2021 Gaza war by telling Israel to cut it out, has decided that in this case they wanted to convince Israel that it was time to stop rather than instruct them that it was time to stop. When that day comes, I do not know yet. Yeah. There are camps within the administration, for and against putting that level of pressure. But we're just not there yet, and it's unfortunate that we're not there yet, given all the carnage.
Perhaps domestically is where things will change. I mean, this is not going down well with the progressive left, especially the younger voters who want a ceasefire. If Biden won't stop Israel, perhaps voters will stop him this election?
I was kind of hoping that would happen, and there was a lot of sense during the primaries earlier that it might happen. But now that the Arab and Muslim and young progressives, including people in my family, are saying they will never, ever, ever vote for Biden because of the genocide, that unfortunately has pushed the Biden administration back towards the center, back towards older Jewish voters, back towards the Haley voters and other independents, seeing that it's lost the voters on the left already. I've been telling my Arab and Muslim, contacts and friends who organize politically to take a page from the mayor of Dearborn, who said, we're uncommitted. You can win our votes eventually. But when you talk to them privately, they say they're done with Biden and they're done with Trump and they're done with the democracy if that's the cost of this. And I don't think that's a wise political strategy, even though I understand their frustration.
William Lawrence, always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.